So, we wanted to get on today because y'all know I love hearing people's stories. I love having different women from all over the place come together for, one purpose, and that's to share their story and then touch other people's lives. And that's definitely something I've experienced through this business. It's definitely taught me how to do that. And how to not only make an impact but make an income while doing it. So that's bomb. So I wanted Kaylee to share her story because she has such just like a powerful journey. And she actually recently came from another company, so we can touch on that a little bit too. But I wanted her to just share her story just so that y'all, realize and see that so many different people can come together for one, simple thing, and that's to change people's lives. And to share your story and empower others through your experiences. So I'm gonna be quiet. Kaylee, go ahead and just give us some background. Let us know who you are. Share your story, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so if I repeat myself, just ignore me. I'm a little nervous, but So I am a college student firsthand, but I also battle with seizures, and that is completely unknown whether epileptic or not. There's epileptics in the family, but anyways. So at 18, seizures started really bad. I was full-time high school student my senior year. I was full-time working at McDonald's 2 to 10, got out of school at 11, had to verse that together. And then I also lived on my own with a boyfriend I had at the time. So it's a big mess senior year. And then seizures started about February. I think that's when they actually found out it was seizures. January, everything just kind of started as panic attacks in our eyes. And everything went downhill very fast. I had my own car paid off. Like I said, I had the freedom to drive. I had the freedom to do all these normal things that I don't want to say we took for granted because I can't speak for everybody, but I know personally I took for granted. And so, I had to find rides to school. I actually lived in my own apartment for about another month and I had to let it go because I had to stop working due to seizures. And I didn't have a job for probably about 2 years. Couldn't get on disability. Didn't really want to, so I'm kind of glad they didn't approve it. But it was just a big run. And then everything kind of started getting panned out evenly. The memory losses, that was a whole nother deal. They said it was brain trauma from the coma. And that finally panned out. So I was like, okay, it's time to kind of start getting somewhere with this. So in June of last year, I kind of got, I guess it was my kicking spot because I'd been through so much crap up to this point. And in November of 2018, I was actually raped by my best friend at the time. So he's been in my life my entire life, and it was completely unexpected. And so that took a major hit. I actually, I was put in the psych ward in January that following year, a couple months later, because I was like at my lowest point. I think that's when it actually hit that it had happened. And I was honestly just not ready to deal with anything anymore. And I got out of the psych ward about a week and a half later, and I was just kind of like, I was okay, but I was just there. And then June was when everything just, I guess, for a couple months, I was just kind of paddling through life. And in June, I'd had peer support services to get me to doctor's appointments because I couldn't drive myself. I'd been seizure free for a couple weeks at this point. And they told me that I lost my peer support services. And I was like, okay, how am I getting to these doctor appointments? Because I was having like 3 a week. And I was like, you know, they kind of got me on that. It was my transportation, and I was like, I had nobody to take me, didn't really have a support team. And I lived with my dad, and he was at work a lot. He had like 12-hour shifts daily. And so I was like, how am I getting to these? And it kind of just, I guess it put a fuel to get better. And it sounds kind of insane, but I was already 3 weeks seizure free. So I was like, I went from having 15 seizures a day to 3 weeks seizure free. And I was like, so it's possible, it's here. And I was like, it's just going to happen. Like, I guess, you hear everybody talk about, they made a choice and it just worked out. And honestly, I always thought that was kind of crazy. But looking back in June, I just made a choice that it was going to get better. I had no choice but to believe it was going to get better. And I started calling DMVs to see the route of getting my license back because I voluntarily turned them in. And I was going to see how long I had to be seizure free and everything. And so the DMV actually told me that they didn't turn medical in on me and that I had like a whole month to get up there and get them back, or they were taking my driving experience and everything because it was just put as a randomly turned in. So I was like, okay. So I actually went back the next day and got him back. And I didn't drive for a couple days just to make sure I was good, and I wouldn't drive on a bad day or whatever. But I got my license back, and that was just like, I don't know. I remember crying because I was just so excited to just have a little piece of card again. And I started college. I think it was that next month. Yeah. I did the introduction class in July and started in August. And again, I mean, that was one of those things that I thought I was never going to be able to do between my memory and my seizures. It was just something that did not, I didn't see it happening. Like, everybody thought my future was disability. And I kept fighting it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be on disability at 20 years old. I'm better than this. And I started working at a company my mom works for called Market Basket. And I worked 4 or 5 days a week, 10, 11-hour shifts. And I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I've done proved to myself that I can do this. So, like, this is my come up. That's what I kept telling everybody. I was like, I'm on my come up. Nothing's stopping me. And me and my mom actually had a huge fallout. Kind of isn't anything new for the people that know me, but I won't go into that. But I ended up stopping working at her company because it was just way too much connected to her. And so I was like, okay, I was I was receiving my last check and I had no clue what I was gonna do because most of applications for me was, why didn't you work for 2 years? And then it was like, hey, yeah, I had seizures, and then I was a liability, so it never worked. So I had this girl message me about weight loss products for a different company than this. I worked for It Works, and I was like, I can afford that a month. Like, I just received my last check, and she asked me if I wanted ever thought about making money from my phone, and I was like, what? Like, what? And I think the only reason that I honestly joined her on the spot was because I'd watched a girl. You're fine. I'd watched a girl that I knew from town be successful with it to a point where I guess I just seen her go from making your typical income full time to being able to do concerts every weekend and stuff. So I was like, I ain't got anything to lose. I'm sitting here with my last check in my hand. And I was like, yeah, let me go put it in the bank and I'll message you. So I did that, and I didn't take it serious at all because I had so much going on. I just got into a new relationship. And then I was supposed to have trial that at the end of that month for the rape, and I was just so bombarded with everything. It was like I got my life on track, and then it was just like trial would pop up, and it's like, yeah, you got to deal with this. It's here. It happened, and I just get so down. and I have PTSD, so that would kind of fume up, and I was like, oh dear Lord. And that would activate my seizures, and I was just like, yeah, I can't deal with this. So I didn't actually take that business serious until honestly probably Christmas, because I mean, we were supposed to have trial in October, and then it went to December, and then it went to January, and it just never happened. But um, it was a regarding cycle of getting my hopes up to be over with it, and then it just something else come up. And December, I started they I started taking it serious. I had a couple customers enroll, and I mean, I made I made an income off of it. I did. I wore myself out completely. um, Trial is still yet to happen, but I have a special place in my heart for helping other people with that scenario. Like, it's been very difficult as far as that goes, because I had to choose whether to go to trial, and a lot of people don't know this, but they'll know now, or to choose me. And it's going, I mean, he's not getting off with it, but it was whether I could handle the trial and how bad it's going to be at trial. And I had to choose me, and I think that was the hardest battle of it all. Because so much more I did not want to choose me. But so I chose me, and it just really looking back in the last week of how much I've struggled with having to decide that, and having to tell the DA yesterday that I was gonna choose me. It just really lit a fire under me for women that we get told that if you do this you're gonna regret it, because I was actually told that. And it's just, again, I found my voice, and I think the hardest thing is keeping my voice lit and remembering that it's worth hearing, and that it's there. And I got with you guys, and I don't know, it's like I muted my voice with the previous company. I feel like that way I wouldn't be depressing, or I wouldn't be raw or anything. But I mean, that's me. I am that person that sends you a 5 long page text message because you're doing something stupid and I see more of you. Like, that's me. I'm gonna be honest with you. And so I think joining y'all, this is honestly probably the best part of the whole deal, is that I've started my blog back up because I'm able to post that on Facebook without being called anything. I'm I'm able to be me along with this, and it's just like I have so many opportunities coming to me again, I feel like. And it's just knowing that everything with this trial is going to be over by the end of the year that excites me more than anything. And I'm just like, okay, so that means I have till the end of the year to get everything lined up and started, and then 2021 is my year. It's happening. And so I'm kind of done with that point. I don't know what else.
No, you're fine. Oh my gosh. Like, I just don't even have words. Like, your story is so real and raw, and like you're still, going through it. Like, it's not just like done. You know what I mean? And so the fact that you have the courage to share that, and like you changed the narrative for yourself, like you did. You had those times when you were just at your lowest point, and like you know what I mean? But then, like you said, like you chose to like not let that defeat you. You chose to not let that define you, and you chose to flip it in a way that um can help other people who are going through, or who have gone through, or who might go through that in the future. You have that ability to connect to them and help them and empower them and help them change the narrative for themselves. And I think that is so powerful. And I remember, I mean, you opened up to me pretty early, like you told me your story and why you wanted to do this and why you were, interested in this business and like, you saw the potential in this industry and you wanted a place where you could share that openly and you could be yourself. And it wasn't like, I have to conform to be this in order to be successful. You found a vehicle that you could hop into where it's like, okay, I can be myself and I can touch people with my experiences and not some like theological BS and like Pinterest quotes, but like my experiences are what's going to fire people up. It's what's going to help people. It's what's going to empower people. And like, honestly, the second you told me that, I was like, she's got something to say. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to change people's lives because she's got something to say. And I am so proud of you for having the courage to do that. I mean, I've had traumatic experiences, but nothing like that. And I still get nervous to be vulnerable. So like, you're inspiring me to get out there and like really put it, out there so that I can help people who have been through experience like I have. But I think it's so inspiring that you're so open about it, especially when it's still something you're working through, I think that's so cool and I admire that so much. And I think that's another like just brilliant perk of this business is that you're really encouraged to share your story, to share your experiences, and then tie the business into your life, not conform to, this is how you're going to do it successfully. You can't show too much. You can't share too much. Like, no, share your life, share your experiences because that's what's going to connect you with other people. You know what I mean? And like, that's what's going to help you make an impact. And that's what is going to, lead people to changing their lives. Um, and the fact that you're just leading by example, you told me like, I really want to try these products. I really want to do this. Like, I know the healthier I am, the less likely I am to have seizures. And like, I want to be healthier. So like, let's do it. And I was like, dang, okay, yeah, let's do it. Like, you are ready to go. Like, and I don't have to, but like, I especially didn't have to like even try to convince you. Like, you knew what you had your hands on and you were ready to go. And like, you've just taken off since you've been here. And I think that's so cool and like just such a good example. Um, and it is, I think it's easy to, kind of let go of yourself when you're just in that like survival mode. I know for me, when I've had any kind of like trauma or extreme stress, like I'm not eating, I'm definitely not getting the nutrition I need. I'm not wanting to be social. I isolate and like it really is bad for me. And that's something I've had to work through and grow through. But you are just like, I want to get healthy. I want to help people. I want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still, even when you're in that mode of like, this is really defeating, you're like, I'm not going to let it, crush me. I'm not going to let it determine where I'm going or what I'm doing. And I think that is huge. Um, so I
Uh,
really appreciate you sharing that.
that was a part of the journey of seizures that I had to learn. Like, because if I let myself stress myself out, it was like on top of those normal 10 seizures I'd have a day, I was having five more over whatever was stressing me.
Yeah.
And so, like, I had to learn to not let the small stuff bother me. And even if it did, I had to learn to get to a point where I was like, okay, this is going to work out for the better in the long run. I drove myself absolutely crazy telling myself that. But, I look back and I can see, I'm not saying I'm grateful for the situation I was in with the rape, but it made me a better person. It made me learn to find my voice. It gave me the idea of writing a book for sexual assault survivors. And I mean, that was combining the writing that I wanted to do and, it gave me a passion. And for that, I am thankful. And, I use probably not the smartest punchline for my life, but I've lived through my worst nightmare and I'm still going through it, honestly. But because of that, I'm looking at everything with a straight face. And I'm like, you're not going to defeat me. Like, you could try, and I might sit back for a minute and get down, but it's only going to be like 5 minutes. And then I'm going to stand back up and laugh at you and tell you you're on.
Yep.
So that's kind of just how it goes now.
Yeah. And I love that because so many people will get in their own way. And like, I really admire that, like, that, like, even when all of the, like, world is against you, like, your biggest battle is going to be with yourself. And, like, when you're good with yourself and when you're taking care of yourself and when, you have that mindset shift of, like, okay, yeah, I might take some L's, like, okay, that one got me down. You know what I mean? Like, I take some L's, but, like, the choice to get back up and be like, what's up? Like, you didn't get me down. You know what I mean? Like, you're not taking me out, homie. Like, that's the best feeling. And to know that you can, like, do that is just so inspiring because not many people can. And it's hard to get out of your own way, especially when you're going through it. And I just think you're such a good example and just like the prime model of like just getting out of your own way and not letting your circumstances defeat you. And I think that is so important, especially in an industry where you are, trying to help people and change their lives and you are trying to better yourself. Like it really does start with you. And like I see that and other people see that that's what you're doing. And I think that is so empowering and just like I don't know, like you've stepped into your power and you're just like, yeah, I'm going through it. Like yesterday sucked. Like it was hard. It was a hard day, but like here I am sharing my story anyway because like I'm not gonna let the hard stuff mute me anymore, and I love that about you. Like that is so inspiring to me. And I just like, I don't know, when I think of you, I just think like bold and brave and courageous because so many people are scared to share themselves and scared to share their stories. And like, you just have such a, like, I don't know, just like a powerful presence with your vulnerability and your willingness to share and like help other people get through it. And so I don't know, I really admire that. I think it's super special. And I'm so excited that you're here. Like, just to have somebody like that on our team is a huge, just like inspiration. And I think that that's going to encourage a lot of people to keep going, and to show up no matter what. Because, like, if you can show up no matter what, like anybody can. You know what I mean? Like, if I can show up, you can show up. Like, that's just kind of it. And, like, you don't stop showing up for yourself. And I think that's like major key in life, period. Like point blank. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited. So, um, I know like you kind of touched on this, but you said like with your last company, you felt kind of muted. What are some of the things? I mean, I'm sure that's a part of it, but what are some of the things that you're really excited about now that you've made the switch? You know what I mean? Like, what are some of the positive things that have changed for you in the business or in the
The first couple days I made the switch, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I would look over at JT when he got home from work, and he'd be like, "How'd your day go?" And I was like, and normally, surprisingly, I had time to like watch Netflix because I'd have the room clean and I had nothing else to do. And I'd be like sitting here looking at my computer, like, okay, I've caught school up, I've done everything I need to for the business, I've cleaned the room, like, what is next? And I'm sitting here like driving myself insane because I have time, and that was one thing I did not have, and I am so grateful for because I didn't have that. Like, I'd spend all day working my business and I'd still have to clean the room, and normally that room didn't get cleaned until like 4 days later. And so, like, I don't know how people do it with people that have their own houses because I just had a room. I lived with JT's parents, so I had a room, and I mean, he worked all day, so I worked from home. So I was like, I'll clean. Like, I'm not putting that on him, and I don't think he would, even if I needed him to. So, but I remember telling JT like everything's so different. Like, the atmosphere is different. The energy of just the group chats alone, just everybody is all hey girl, I got this done. I got this done. We did this. It's done. Like everybody is just cheering each other on. And I absolutely love that. I don't know if it's because of my story or what, but I just absolutely love that. And that's something I didn't have a lot of. It was always being corrected. You shouldn't have done this. It's going to mess up your algorithm. Or you sound like you just talk about this, about my story. So you're putting this out in the atmosphere. And like, it was literally, it was just like I was muted. And I switched over and I had time. I wasn't muted. I could actually be myself. And I really didn't know what to do with that at first. And now, like, I've started my blog up because I have time to write, and I haven't had time to write or the passion with everything that's happened in the last 3 years for a long time. And then I got my passion back, and it was like, okay, you know what? He doesn't get to control that. We're going to write still. And then it was like, I don't have time to write. And so I get to do that again, and I get to have the room clean all the time, which is really nice. It makes a big mental health plus to just feel like, you've got the time to do that. It looks pretty, and I mean, I have the time to do my hair, but I'm not going to just because I'm lazy. It's not necessary. Unless I'm going to take photos, it's not necessary. It's ridiculous. But plus to the girls that have time to do that and want to do that, like, good for you. Kudos. It's just not me. But you know, financially, it made a difference. I wasn't having to put money in back into it for other things. I mean, I was paying monthly fees and then turning around and putting money into products. And here, you don't have to do that. And I think that's honestly what sold me the moment I seen the post, because I was like, if I could just calculate the money I put back just in the products, and I didn't want to. I did not. I did JT's and it was up to like $500, and I stopped there and was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing mine.
It's awful. Yeah, no, I had the same experience. I remember, sorry, my dog just came in. I remember like doing my tax return, and when I didn't have to pay in any taxes because I wrote off how much I had been spending, I was spending more than I was making, like on my products, on my website fees, on everything else. And I was like, okay, this is not acceptable. Like I was so mad. And so then I don't know. I just had to find something different. And I do. I love that. I love that I'm not pouring money into this. We don't have to hold inventory. You can be a product of the product without having to buy it. Like you get your products for free every month because you earn that, plus your commission, plus bonuses, plus there's so many things you can earn. Your auto bonus, like I get a car payment every month and my car's paid off, so like I just pocket that, you know what I mean? um it's just crazy, like all of the perks and just how much the company gives back. Ew, I just slobbered all over my arm. But yeah, I don't know, like that was a huge thing for me too, was like you don't have to pour money into this business in order to make it work, and you don't have to sit there and try to get people or cold message or like, oh, she works with this business, block her, or oh, she works with this business, go get her. Like I didn't come for you. Like you messaged me and you were like, okay, what's up? Like, what is this? And like I stated the facts and you were like, yeah, let's go. And that was that. You know what I mean? Because it is just a completely different environment and a completely different way of working your business. And I remember when I saw the process it takes to get to the outcome, to get to success. When I was with my last company, I was like, okay, I can do that. It's not like impossible, but it was hard. Like their comp plan was not for me. That process of sending out messages was not for me. And that's okay. If that's for people, great. If you love where you're at, please stay. You know what I mean? And I'll support you. I'll cheer you on. I still have friends over there, but like I just for me, that wasn't the process to get to my goals. And over here, I found, a process that works for me and one where I can be myself and share myself and engage on things that I actually relate to. Um, and I can help people, take care of themselves in the process and like help them share their stories in the process. And it's just all about like that community and being connected. And I don't know, I love it. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world. Sorry. No one needs to see him walking around without clothes. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. That was like one of the biggest things for me as well, was just like seeing that difference in the process to be successful. And it's like a lot more simple. It's simplified, which I also like. Like, I am not super detail oriented. I have so many thoughts going on that it's hard for me to like focus on things, and I can get overstimulated easily. So the simplicity in how you work your business is like spot on for me. Like, I can get my stuff done and then go about my day. You know what I mean? It's not taking all my time. It's not stressing me out. It's not like making me feel icky, like asking people to try something. And, one of the girls, she kind of put it in perspective for me because she was newer. And um, she was like, you know what? I really hate getting those messages. And I was like, why? Like, for me, like, I get it. I get why they do it. So, like, I try not to let it bother me. And I used to be that girl sending them out. So I was like, why? Like, why does it fire you up? And she's like, because if I don't even know you and then I get some big long paragraph asking me to buy something from you, like, that's weird. And I was like, you right? Like, and I was like even more embarrassed that I used to do that. But I was like, dang, you don't lie. She was like, yeah, like that's weird. And then to keep asking me over and over and over again, like that's weird. And I was like, you right. I had to make like a public announcement, like, I'm so sorry, y'all, because yeah, you're right. That was weird. Like, I had to own it and just be like, my bad. But I don't know. That's another huge thing that I love, is that you just share your story. You share the products that are working for you and that have completely changed your health and other people's health. And people come to you, and like, that's it. Like, it's simple. But yeah, anyway, I could talk about that for days, but I don't know. I'll wrap it up. I've had you here for like what, 45 minutes. Um but yeah, I'm so thankful that you're here and that you have the courage to share your story, and that you're passionate about touching other people's lives, and you're committed to that. Like, you're committed to taking care of yourself and to getting through whatever life throws at you, and just putting yourself out there so that you can impact other people. I think that's absolutely amazing. I think your story is so unique, yet a lot of people can relate to it. And I can't wait to watch you like really, really go, because you've already started so strong and you're already making such an impact. And I'm just so excited to like watch you soar. I sound so corny, but I'm so serious. I'm so excited to just watch you like change all these lives around us. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, or?
Really, I mean, that crazy dream that you had as a kid, even if it's changed, go for it. Run for the freaking moon, because I promise you, even if it sounds crazy, it is possible and you can make it happen.
Yes, exactly. You got to commit to it and go for it. But yeah, no, I love that. That's great advice. Um, yeah, I just I love that. You're just, oh my gosh, you're so inspiring. You're just like empowering everybody. I'm like ready to go change 80 lives. So I'm going to let y'all go. I hope everybody has an amazing Saturday. And yeah, thank you so much for getting on, Kaylee.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, y'all. I will see y'all whenever. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye, guys.